There was a physicist told me this. There was I don't know, call it a conference, I think in the early 1900s when quantum physics started to be revealed. And people, great minds, realized that the world is not what we think it is. It's kind of reacting to emotions. It totally changes the entire Western way of looking at life, where things are deterministic. Move this here, move that there. It's much more emotional. And they got together and they decided, what are we going to do about this? You know what they did is they went home and they ate lunch and they didn't change the way they're thinking, because we don't like to change the way we're thinking. The greatest problem that people have is we don't like to change the way we think, because thinking is like building a building. Now imagine you built, I don't know, a palace, and you have all the rooms and this and that. Somebody comes and says, this palace is not a good palace. You're like, what are you talking about? This is the most beautiful palace. You put so much time and effort into your thinking, and the way you constructed reality is you don't want to change. And then somebody comes, no, everything that this palace was actually constructed by Russia. It's constructed by the enemy. He constructed this palace in order for you to die in it and not to have a meaningful life. And you're like, no, it can't be. Well, that's the truth. That's exactly what's happened. So many of the ideologies of quote-unquote progressives is completely, we have the spies that have come from Russia, completely been, it's called disinformation. They put these ideas, this whole kind of quote-unquote gay is like marriage. No, it's not like marriage. It's the exact opposite of marriage. The idea of marriage is a man and a woman having children. Gay is not that. There's an animal, a marriage. It's not a marriage. It's a different thing. And when America's a colonial power. No, America's against colonialism. It's kind of the power that's for sovereign rights of other countries. It's the exact opposite of truth, but it doesn't matter, because you've constructed a building in your head, your little palace, and you don't want anyone to come to you and tell you that your palace is wrong. And one day, and stats are showing this, that whole culture, even communism itself, was a palace. So, all we need to do is just have everything as communal property. And somebody says, no, what are you, crazy? People need motivation. It's okay to have drive. And let people give charity. They'll have more money. They'll give more charity. And you're like, no, I constructed this whole palace. And what did it do? Killed millions of people, and the whole thing collapsed because it didn't make any sense. So the chances that what you're believing now, it's very important to understand this, because the only way you're going to change is if you understand this. The chances that what you believe now is true, based on all of human history, if we put all ideologies and idea into a package and we gave them a number, so let's say there were 1,000 ideologies and ideas, the chances that what you have is true is 999% inaccurate. Your chance of being wrong is 999%. There's only, as the Rebbe said, one truth. I'm not going to tell you what that is, because you'll say, oh, wow, you're arrogant, you have the truth. But the point is, you have a 999% chance that your entire palace will not survive. It's just maybe a radical idea. It's an idea that's come, and that's it. And you're in a dream, and the dream, one day you'll wake up, or it will be a nightmare, and it's over. And so, actually, I will share with you what I believe is the truth. And I believe the truth is that we have been created by a creator. And the creator has a reason for all of us, and he loves all of us, and we all have a special role to play. Generally speaking, God revealed himself the only religion, there's a study of 150 religions, the only religion that claims that God revealed himself to everyone. It wasn't like one person told everybody else. If, I'm not trying to put anyone down, but if Jesus maybe was delusional, then 2 billion Christians are following somebody wrong. If Muhammad was delusional, and 1.4 billion Muslims, and both of them will agree that one of them was. So the point is that you have billions of people following something which, based on the testimony of one person or 12 people, very, very flimsy. And I mean, I once spoke to a priest and we were discussing this. He said to me, the New Testament was written, again, I'm not trying to put anyone down, I'm just bringing out a point, was written 300 years after the stories happened. So imagine 300 years later they write stories about me, and this is not in the days that anything was recorded. So it's interesting. It's an interesting question if that's great factual information. I think Muhammad, I think he says the angel Gabriel came to him in a cave. He didn't even show any miracles. How do you know that's true? There are other people the Mormons, he got a whole bunch of names in a cave. How do you know that's true? Maybe he just wrote down the names. 20 million people are following that. So the point is that just because people are saying something, how do you know it's true? Because all of human history proves that it isn't true. And the only historical revelation where an entire nation saw it and everybody of their children continue till myself this very day is the Jewish revelation. And that revelation basically boils down to goodness and kindness, which is almost self-understood. And so it gets infinitely deeper than what I said, but I'm saying you have to base yourself on facts. And so these are the facts, these are the things that make sense. L'chaim v'levracha.